Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Koholo Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh, double honor to the apostle and elder great millstone that taught me the truth and that rule well. Salutations to the Yakim out there pushing the truth in all sincerity on the highways and byways and risking their lives to do so. Salutations to the hopeful elect that are scattered among the four corners of the earth that believe in the truth of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom. This is a news article dealing with the mandating of COVID-19 vaccination, which reads, states have authority to fine or jail people who refuse coronavirus vaccine. Attorney says legal proceedings dates back to 1905. And they have a news clip here that's going to, go into, this mandate or the possible mandating of the COVID-19, telling you that these states, have the right to mandate vaccination so they can make you become vaccinated, So all this is, to help usher in, Esau Edom's plan, for this mark of the beast, the RFID microchip, All these things go hand in hand. There's no coincidence that all these things are happening simultaneously. This COVID-19 pandemic or whatnot, the coin shortage, the COVID-19 spread, possibility saying that, the passing of monies, can, help, with the spread of coronavirus, or whatnot, So, this is all going to lead to them, getting rid of, the current money system because they want to go digital. And that's what most of these countries are going to, And a lot of these nations are on board, are on board, we're going digital. So that's where they're phasing to, They're going to, saying that their financial system is collapsing, and which is true. But, this is something that, they plan to have happen so they can get rid of monies and they can go to digital currency, to help usher in the RFID chip mark of the beast, where you can't buy or sell without it. But, let me let the video play, and we'll grab the scripture, dealing with the issue.
As we race to develop a coronavirus vaccine, some major questions are emerging. Good evening, I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. A lot of people are wondering if the government could force people to get it, or could people who refuse get banned from stores or lose their jobs? ABC 10 News anchor Derek Stahl spoke with a legal expert to get some answers.
Imagine a world where you have to get vaccinated and show proof to go shopping, board a plane, or just go to work. Legally, it could happen, says University of San Diego law professor Dov Fox.
States can compel vaccinations in more or less intrusive ways. They can limit access to schools or services or jobs if people don't get vaccinated. They can force them to pay a fine or even lock them up in jail. Those measures have been adopted in other countries like France, but not so far in the United States.
It all dates back to a Supreme Court case in 1905. The court held that Massachusetts could fine people for not getting vaccinated against smallpox. That case became the basis of vaccine requirements at schools across the country.
Courts have found that when medical necessity requires it, the public health outweighs the individual rights and liberties at stake.
Just last year, New York City passed an ordinance fining people for not getting a measles vaccination. But there's a big difference between what states have the power to do and what Congress could do.
There are these questions, separation of powers, Commerce Clause questions.
Professor Fox says a federal vaccine requirement would probably get shot down by the current Supreme Court based on a 2012 ruling on the Affordable Care Act. That means we could have a patchwork of different vaccination requirements in different states. Professor Fox says states would need to allow exemptions for people with legitimate medical risks like pregnancy, but not exemptions for other reasons.
Religious exemptions, philosophical ones, have largely been overridden in the name of public health.
However, Professor Fox says recent protests over face coverings show there's a big risk of a backlash here. And just because states have the power to require vaccinations doesn't mean it's the best public policy. Derek Stahl, ABC 10 News.
And legal experts say that private businesses would have the authority to fire workers who don't want to get vaccinated.
So as you see, these devils, you know what I'm saying, they have the right to force vaccinate you, you know what I'm saying? Which is a wicked thing. But you know what I'm saying, let's read a little bit of this article. This is San Diego news report, News 10. What it reads, as drug makers race to develop a vaccine against the against the coronavirus, several legal questions are emerging. Could the government require people to get it? Could people refuse to roll up their sleeves, get banned from stores, or lose their jobs? The short answer is yes, according to Doug Fox, a law professor at and director of the Center in Health Law Policy of Bioethics at the University of San Diego. So they're telling you that they have the right to vaccinate you forcefully. You know what I'm saying? Like you won't have no say so. So they can forcefully, put a needle in you and inject you with their poison. If they so choose. Reading on, states can comply vaccinations in more or less intrusive ways, he said in an interview. They can limit access to schools or services or jobs if people do not get vaccinated. They could force them to pay a fine or even lock them up in jail. So these what does the scripture say about, you know what I'm saying, said, about being going to jail, say, as it states in Revelations 2 and 10, that some of you should be thrown into prison, because this is what this gonna lead to. Those that refuse to be vaccinated, you know what I'm saying, they're going to be put in jail because they saying the states have the right to do these things, you know what I'm saying? And it's going to be no different from when the mark of the beast comes into play, because this is a precursor to the mark of the beast, you know what I'm saying? Because all these things go hand in hand, but this is just Esau Edom, feeling his way out, you know what I'm saying? Like he this is a test run to see, to what he really wants to have in play, which is his mark of the beast RFID chip, you know what I'm saying? So this is just a prior stage to that mandate, because that's where we're headed, and it gotta take place, because that's part of biblical prophecy. Reading on, Fox noted authorities in the United States have never attempted to jail people for refusing to be vaccinated, but other countries like France have adopted the aggressive tactic. So France on board too, because Esau Edom, I'm saying, they're those are his descendants as well, you know what I'm saying? Reading on, the legal proceedings dates back to 1905 in a landmark U.S. Supreme Court case, Jacobson versus Massachusetts. The court ruled Massachusetts have the authority to fine people who refuse vaccinations for smallpox. That case formed the legal basis for the vaccine requirements at schools and has been upheld in subsequent decisions. Courts have found that when medical necessities requires it, the public health outweighs the individual rights and liberties at stake, Fox said. Yeah, so, being that they're saying that, your rights go out the door, you know what I'm saying? So that's why, they want to, when they force, this, Trump says he's going to have his military, forces vaccination, yeah, because they're going to take away your rights, you know what I'm saying? Your rights is out the door, when it comes to implementing this thing, you know what I'm saying? And they're going to have it full force, your constitutional rights are going to be waived, because it's going to be a state of emergency, and it's going to be you're going to be a threat to national security, you know what I'm saying? So you're going to be seen as a threat to the well-being of society. So in order for them, you know what I'm saying, to prevent a worldwide pandemic, you being a threat, I'm saying, they're gonna have to vaccinate you, and they're gonna have to do it forcefully if you don't choose to to accept it, you know what I'm saying? If you don't go along and get along, you know what I'm saying, what their agenda is, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna force you into it, you know what I'm saying? Just like with the RFID chip, you know You know what I'm saying? That's going to be forced as well. You know, they're going to put, you know what I'm saying, families in FEMA camps and force vaccinate you, or, you know what I'm saying, take away certain privileges from you, because, you know, all this, you know what I'm saying, is just, you know, a test run. You know, this mask wearing or whatnot, dealing with the COVID-19 is just a test run to see who's going to cooperate, who's not going to cooperate. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, once they figure that out, you know, they're going to see, you know, what kind of rebellious, you know, people they got to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, this right here is going to cause a rebellion. And, you know, once they, you know, figure that out, you know what I'm saying, they're going to, you know, continue to, you know, roll out, you know what I'm saying, their plan for their agenda. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, this is just, you know, the beginnings of, you know, what they really want to do. You know what I'm saying? With the RFID chip. Reading on, in 2019, New York City passed an ordinance that fined people who refuse a measles vaccination. They said recent protests over face coverings show there could be significant backlash to a vaccine mandate. Yeah, see, so this is all that's the whole, you know, face mask thing. It was just a test run. You know what I'm saying? Just to see, you know what I'm saying, what kind of backlash or rebellion they're gonna get from forcing people to, you know what I'm saying, to wear these masks. You know, for the, you know, to prevent the spread of coronavirus. You know what I'm saying? So this vaccination is no different. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna see, you know, who's gonna rebel. You know what I'm saying? And who's not gonna take it. But, you know, once, you know, these people, they start to, you know, take certain privileges from you, like, you know what I'm saying, you're not going to be able to, you know, work, you know what I'm saying, you won't be able to go and buy groceries or whatnot, you won't be able to go in public without you know what I'm saying, without being vaccinated. A lot of people are going to fold, and they're going to accept it. You know what I'm saying? You know, just like with the you know, the face mask thing, that was just a test run. You know, in order to, you know, have, you know, to go out and be about society or to do business, you know what I'm saying, you pretty much got to wear a mask. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these, you know, stores or you know, all these businesses, you know what I'm saying, like they won't let them do business unless, you know what I'm saying, they're wearing a mask. So you can't go in these stores to buy or sell unless you put a mask on your face to prevent the spread of this so-called coronavirus pandemic. You know what I'm saying? But this is just a setup. You know what I'm saying? They're using psychological operation, you know what I'm saying, to see who's going to be, you know what I'm saying, on board with this, you know what I'm saying? So you know, many people, you know what I'm saying, you know, they're not with the whole COVID-19 wearing the mask, you know what I'm saying? So you know that those that aren't, you know, with wearing the mask, they're going to actually be against, you know what I'm saying, being vaccinated, being mandatory vaccinated, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to be with it. So it's going to cause them, you know, some backlash. And being on, just because states have the power to do it doesn't mean it's the best public policy. He added, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, because, you know, people are going to rebel. And, you know, that's why Trump's saying that he's going to have his military, you know what I'm saying, issue the vaccination, because he know people are going to rebel. So they're going to come to your homes, you know what I'm saying, with arms, and they're going to, you know, force vaccinate you, you know what I'm saying? And you know, your kids, you know what I'm saying, they won't even be able to go to school without it, you know, being vaccinated. So those who have, you know, have children, you know what I'm saying, you know, they're going to have to vaccinate your kids, because if not, they're going to force vaccinate them, you know. But that's just, you know, Esau Edom and his wickedness right there. Reading on, although states would have the authority to mandate vaccinations, there's more doubt about whether Congress could enact a federal requirement. The most likely federal vaccination requirement would come in the form of a tax penalty, but Fox said, given the current compensation of the Supreme Court, a federal vaccine requirement will likely be found unconstitutional. Opponents of a federal mandate would cite the Supreme Court's 2012 decision on the Affordable Care Act. Fox said, in the cases, the justice ruled that Congress could not use its powers to regulate interstate commerce to require people to buy health insurance, even though the ACA's individual mandate was ultimately upheld on separate grounds. That means the U.S. could have a patchwork of different vaccines requirements in different states. States that explore a vaccine requirement should only do so if the vaccine is widely and readily available, Fox said. Otherwise, you create an underclass of people who are less safe and without access to the basic means of society, he said. States would need to allow exemptions for people with legitimate medical risks like pregnancy, but not exemptions on religious or psychological grounds, he said. You know what I'm saying? So, all those, that believe in certain religions, or, you can't be exempt to this, So, who they're going to be targeting, the Hebrew Israelites, the so-called Latinos, Negroes, and Native Americans, that we're against, being vaccinated, because that's against our law, statute, and commandments. So, they're going to be coming for us, during these times. Religious exemptions are not constitutional, required by the First Amendment's free exercise clause, provided that the vaccine mandates don't single out religion. They are not motivated by a desire to interfere with it, he said. In the workplace, private employers would have a lot of flexibility to require vaccinations and fire workers who refuse them for anything but legitimate medical concerns. So your employer, if you don't get vaccinated, they have the right, to fire you, to terminate you if you choose not to be vaccinated, So you're going to be without work. So, this is the trying times, you're going to have to make a decision, who you want to serve, because, this walk in the truth is not going to be easy, so you're going to have to be in an uncomfortable position, Reading on, as long as employers show there are significant costs associated with having unvaccinated workers, they would not need to offer religious exemptions to employers, Fox said. Under the 1964 Civil Rights Act, employers are not required to accommodate religious employees if doing so would pose more than a de minimis or minimal cost. So yeah, your employer you can fire you or terminate you without, if you refuse to be vaccinated. So this is all, part of Esau Edom's plan, to bring upon, his mark of the beast, showing you that, we're at the end of the end, we are in the end of the end days, Let's go to, this is Revelations 13 and 11, and it reads, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon." Yeah, this is the revival of the Roman Empire, and the 2 horns are the NATO and the EU, the European Union. You know what I'm saying? And he said he spake as a dragon. And let's go to the definition of the word dragon. To the pronunciation.
Strong's G 1404. Dracon.
So he says that, the beast spoke as a dragon. You know what I'm saying? Which goes into Dracon, which is the Greek pronunciation. So Dracon, we go to Draconian Laws. It says, where it reads, a code of laws prepared by Draco, who was, a Grecian. He was a Greek, during the Greek group time of Esau Edom and his Grecian rule. He was a lawyer, a lawgiver, in the city of Athens. What you gonna read here? Read it again. A code of laws prepared by Draco, the celebrated lawgiver of Athens, that by modern standards are considered exceedingly severe. The term Dracon, it's like the term Draconian has come to be used to refer to any unusual harsh law. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Esau Edom's forced vaccination is a draconian law. You know what I'm saying? It's a harsh law when they can take away your so-called rights, and they can force you, you know what I'm saying, into prison. You know what I'm saying? Or terminate you if you refuse to be vaccinated. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't take his poison, you know what I'm saying, he can pretty much ruin your life. He can cause you to lose your job. So if you don't have a job, you can't pay your bills. You know what I'm saying? You won't be able to go and afford food any longer because you don't have work. You know what I'm saying? And plus, if you don't become vaccinated, you know what I'm saying, you won't be able to enter these stores anyway, because you're a risk to society to pass along the pandemic of the coronavirus. You know what I'm saying, and continue the spread of it. You know what I'm saying? So their thing is, we're gonna vaccinate you. You know what I'm saying, to prevent the spread of this deadly virus that is a threat to society in itself. But that's what I'm saying, that's his his intent to try to get you to take this vaccination. You know what I'm saying? He's telling you, if you take this vaccination, you'll be able to go out and live as usual. You know what I'm saying? Because you will no longer be a threat unto society if you go with our plan. You know what I'm saying? Because we want you to be able to go out and work and buy food and, you know what I'm saying, and survive in our society. But this is what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to give your body up into us. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they really want, because they want to pretty much own you, for you to be their slave. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the whole agenda is, to bring upon the RFID chip, and all this coronavirus pandemic is all just part of his plan to usher in his mark of the beast RFID chip. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back to the scriptures. So yeah, we're gonna read it again. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. You know what I'm saying? Which is speaking his harsh laws, his harsh wicked laws that he put into play, to force vaccinate you. You know what I'm saying? And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Yeah, because the Lord allowed Esau Edom, you know what I'm saying, after his fall, to come back into power. You know what I'm saying? In his current empire, of NATO and EU and the United States. So this is just the revival of the Roman Empire. You know what I'm saying? He failed. He was down for 1,000 years, and the Lord has resurrected him to be back in power. You know what I'm saying? And this is the last, kingdom that's going to be in power before the Lord returns. You know what I'm saying? And restore the nation of Israel. And he had all the power of the first beast. Bringing upon all his same laws, or the same way he ran his previous society, doing his Roman and Greek rule. You know what I'm saying? All the same characteristics, you know what I'm saying, are in play today. When you look at the Colosseums and whatnot of old, you know what I'm saying, that he has of today, your NBA, your football arenas, you know what I'm saying, those things are, pretty much the same. How he, his monetary system and how he ran things then, he's doing now. And as you can see, his system is failing. You know what I'm saying? Just like it did the same way that it did then, because those same spirits that were in rule during those times, they're back here again today, and they're ruling the same way they did then. The times has changed, but the spirits stay the same. These spirits of Esau Edoms, they have new bodies or whatnot, but they still carry that same characteristics. You know what I'm saying? And they still got that, the hateful spirit within them that the Lord has put on them to hate the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? So to this day, that's why they still, have that animosity towards us, because it's something that the Lord has imprinted into them. You know what I'm saying? Their DNA, as part of, the imprint to let you know who they are as a people. You know what I'm saying? And to have that, that forever hatred against his brother Jacob, and being that, we're under these curses, the Lord had given the nation of Israel into his power. You know what I'm saying? So he's just carrying out, the Lord's judgment that the Lord has allowed, because, us as a nation going off against him, but the Lord is soon going to destroy him. But before that happens, this has to take place. I'm just jump down to Revelations 13 and 16, because this is what Esau Edom's plan is. This whole concept of this pandemic, what I'm saying, and this forced vaccination, was going to lead up to this. This is Revelations 13 and 16, which reads, "And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand or in their foreheads, and slakia, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark of the name of the beast and the number of his name." Yeah, so without this mark, which is charagma, which means, to make an incision or a brand, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna force, upon the whole world, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna all be, in the hour of temptation, but the elect should scarcely be saved. But this is what, his intent is with all this, forced vaccination, his whole pandemic, you know what I'm saying, is to bring upon this agenda to force chip the whole world, you know what I'm saying? And this is what the times that we're in. This is how we know we're in the end times. But, as the scriptures say, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of the slack of it that followeth. Going back to, 2nd Ezra 6. 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, I believe. But, I was just paraphrasing. But, yeah, this is, this whole, coronavirus, pandemic, enforced vaccination is just going to, lead up into this, him ushering in, his mark of the beast, So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope the lesson was edifying. Just want to say, call hello, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, and Shalom.